Hi, I'm Gary Curry from Rule Your Jungle, and this is a wee chat with. We're trying something new where we'll speak to regularly to a small business owner and learn about the sort of trials and tribulations of running your own small business. First up today, we have Mark Laurie from Mind Coach Scotland. Welcome, Mark.
Cheers, Gary.
So yeah, just to kick off, Mark, just to find out basically about you and Mind Coach Scotland and what you do.
Yep. So, Coach Scotland's a relatively new business that I started. I used to have a gym, had that for nearly 10 years and closed it down last year. Just around about this time last year. So, we're talking about a year now where I've been doing this solely. It came about as it was first a side, I ran para along with having the gym. Training people, obviously training people are training to feel better. I had some people who maybe performed in a sport. So there's a mental side to that. We done injury rehab at my gym as well. So you were managing people's mental side to that because there was usually injured football players. Varying levels, so boys club to seniors. But to help them manage their rehab journey process sort of thing, because their heads were down. So and just learn that kind of adapting how to manage people and encourage people and coach people through kind of difficult situations. Then getting out walking my dog. That was my kind of break in between the time when I had the gym. That was my break in the day, and I'd walk my dog and I'd think about things and I'd be reflecting on my past and the different decisions that I'd made and the results of the decisions and the consequences, probably a better word. So I'm just reflecting on everything. And then what kind of really took me down the Mind route was I did a couple of NLP sessions with a guy, neuro-linguistic programming. Long story short, this is to do with the subconscious of the brain. So everything, all your experiences, everything you go through, it gets stored, and that then influences how you think, how you act, how you feel. So I did a session with him. I did a few sessions, but there's one session in particular that fucking blew my mind.
Yeah.
And so that it was a big penny dropper, and it helped me. There was something I felt like there's something holding me back with the gym, business wise. There's something holding me back. It was in the early days, and we worked out what it was, and it was like I can never leave it. He then stopped doing it, and I was trying to find somebody else. I couldn't really find the end day, and I ended up just going down the course myself. So I did the wee NLP course. I started to do workshops. I actually went to see somebody. I read a couple of their books, and I seen them in Glasgow, and I went, do you know what? I thought I went on there. I'm going to nip to that, and I went to Rotten. Yeah, it's terrible. And I thought halfway through, in fact, probably not even halfway through, before the break, I thought, this is terrible. This could be done so much better. And then when I was leaving, I was having a wee kind of conversation with myself. Like, yeah, you can do better. Go for it, mate. Go.
That's it.
So I put together a wee workshop in my head. I went, this is brilliant, but I had coached and things for years, so, and even coached like fitness with football teams and things. So I would plan a brilliant session in my head on paper. You go deliver it. That's not working.
Yeah.
There's too many people get clogged up at that gate or that corner, like, so adapt it and change. So in my head, but I knew this might not go according to plan. So I pulled the trigger on it, got a few guys into the gym, had a brilliant day. Brilliant workshop, and that was the first of that. And then it then just started to gather a bit of momentum. And it was just kind of snowball for that I started to do different things, started to do workshops, online stuff, then started to pick up some one-to-one clients, then did another couple of courses, another couple of qualifications. So I was doing that as the gym was running.
Yeah.
As I'd started to employ people to work in the gym, having a young family, I just wasn't seeing the kids. So I then got to a point where the gym just wasn't working. I was going to go back and do it on myself again, and I just got to a point where I went, do you know what, it's not working now, so we just need to move on. And that's when I went right on to doing this. So now I do one-to-ones in the office, some online. I do online programs, online training programs for mental stuff.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's it. I've got to say in a nutshell, but it's more a bag of that, Sarah.
Sounds great. Also, the power of your mind, show it sports here, also business, also anything just in general, innit? Life challenges, if you're a parent or whatever, or be kids. So the power of your mind's.
I realised when I started the gym, when I opened up the business, I realised that the novelty quickly wore off it. Oh, well, brilliant, I've got my own place, I've got my own gym. Brilliant, I can put that through as a business expense. Ooh. But then quite quickly, right, well, a minute, you've got that invoice, you've got this invoice, you've got a music license, you've got that, there you've got service charges that you pay quarterly. Like, what?
Yeah.
So, I then, in my previous jobs, I was able just to turn up. Sometimes I'd do the minimum, sometimes I'd go over and above. Do you know what I mean? I could do, I could float about, it didn't matter, I just get paid at the end of the month. I could get in and hide some days. And back in my mad days, I was a terrible employee.
Yeah.
But
You should honest.
I was terrible, man. Even one of my old managers used to work at a call centre, an insurance call centre. I'm kind of in touch with an old manager, and she says, I don't know how I've had a breakdown with you. I never done a full week of rent. I was always up Mondays and all that. Anyway, that's a different podcast. So, I then quickly realised that me having to keep my mind right and keep my mind in tune and keep things, didn't matter what happened, I couldn't react emotionally.
Yeah.
You've got to, because that was me reacting emotionally, it wasn't a business. So I then had to keep moving, keep dealing with things. Something could happen, and then I've got to take a session. So if I've got 6 people in for a session and I've just a phone call saying somebody tell me I have to pay an invoice of £5,000, and I've not got £5,000,
Yeah.
I can't then
And that'll affect you now.
let a £5,000 organisation, oh man, my head's a wee bit too.
Yeah.
I've got to be spin that. I've got my coaching hat on. Right, let's go on them, and I've got to transfer my energy to them. So I realised that I had to find ways to manage this, and also that if I found ways to, I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. When I found these, that if I kept my mind good and looked for ways to develop it,
Yeah.
I can just go and do that. Whereas I had always just worked in a job and that's what you do.
Yeah.
So when I started to like, well, it's only me needs to answer to me, so I'll tell you that I can do this. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
I can do it lots for yourself. I so it's like as the old cliche, the power in the mind, but the mind's a powerful thing. But I seen when I started to look at people or watch podcasts or read books, and I see people who were successful, and I've looked at what did they do, how did they get that, how did they do that?
Yeah.
Getting up early, training, keeping good habits,
Absolutely. Yeah.
and then it's turns out that can I move on for there?
Yeah, absolutely. I think as you like to the business side, it's so important, and it like you talk about the emotional stuff, is to have that as a business owner. It's a roller coaster. It's up and down, but it's trying to protect yourself emotionally in it if you're not reacting. Especially if you've got customers, or maybe a team or whatever. So it's trying to not let anything sort of sink into you, and it's obviously going to affect your day and affect your mindset. Easier said than done, but obviously that's where you come in, I suppose, is techniques and stuff and strategy to try and not allow that to happen. You get that phone call and you're into a customer meeting or a team meeting, you don't let that affect you.
Yeah.
So listen, just looking back, what's some of the biggest challenges you faced then early in your career? You spoke at the gym first before you transitioned in. So even look at the gym side, but with some of the challenges there that you found.
Challenges, the initial challenges were, I mean, that things like I never knew that you actually loads it into units, industrial units. So I was naive, went behind ears. I never knew that you had to, like, there was class of uses. So you could just put a gym in there. You had to go through a class of use change, and you had to apply in time, and I hadn't got my loan, so I didn't have time to wait for this. So it was then trying to find premises that would take a gym in there. I never had social media. I opened up the gym in 2015, end of 2015.
Yeah.
I never had social media.
Right.
So I had to then learn how to do social media. Didn't have a clue. I then I just had to find my way, because back then when I opened up my place, there's every daft PT everywhere now has opened up every unit somewhere.
Yeah.
When I had done it, there was a boy at the Bob Routine called Ross Stewart who's getting improved Glasgow. There was him and there was me, and that was it really. As far as I knew, that done the kind of small group coaching sessions. So it was a new concept. So trying to get that out to people as well, telling them you're coming 3 times a week, you're paying £150. What? Well, 50 quid? What, a pure gym for 20 quid? It's literally, but I'm coaching you, you're getting a programme, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So it was a while, it took a while for it to catch on, for the concept to catch on. Just dealing with the running the business, doing the admin, doing the cleaning. Like I worked for the first 3.5 years. I worked about between 70 and 90 hours a week. Nothing, zero. Lived off my wife.
You was going to see that side, don't they?
And it was 3.5 years before I started to be able to take £100 a month, and it was like pocket money.
Yeah.
But I was like, £100 a month. Sorry, £100 a week.
Yeah.
£100 a week. On Friday, I'm going to £100.
Yeah. Divide that by the book. As if done that.
It's if you fucking I've got £100 there. So that was difficult, obviously, just trying to keep going and kind of look. What I never done at first was I wasn't looking at the lessons. So if people are saying, oh, I don't really like that, or I don't like that process, or I don't like that program, or it doesn't really work for me, it doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
I was going, oh, well, fuck you. That's just a very here. So an example, I started off, my idea was you either came on a Tuesday and Thursday, or a Monday and a Wednesday. So that was it. And people were going, but what if I miss a night, or what if I don't make it? And I'm like, I don't make training, don't make training. I was used to coming for clubs where it was like, I don't make training, see you later, you're not playing on Saturday. So obviously the motivation's different to come, and somebody's coming to pay you then.
Yeah.
So then when I looked at it, it was actually Ross Stewart I spoke to, and he said, why do you do it at nights? I said, so it's split out, it's split over training nights and there's rest days. And he's like, put the same thing on every night.
Yeah.
Put it on Monday to Thursday or Monday to Friday. Put in a wee booking system. They don't need to speak to you.
Mm.
They can book in. If they come Monday and Thursday, is that a big deal? No. If they come, so I made these changes to make things more available and more accessible.
Yeah.
And then I started to do that. Right. And then, like when somebody said that they didn't like something, I said, right, cool, hang on.
Yeah.
What is it you don't like? Where is it you want? Right, cool. It's been
Ask for feedback on it, really, about that.
yeah, why is it you want? It's just that, tell me, I'm not going to hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, even to this day when I'm doing stuff in the main coaching things and I ask for feedback, don't worry about hurting my feelings. I don't care. Actually, I don't care, but I don't care about I'm going to go, oh no, why are you saying that? Just put it on what you said. That did the work.
Yeah. Cool. You need that feedback to improve things, obviously, and change other things.
Yeah. So at the start, all that was difficult, and not really until I spoke to the boy Ross, who was really, really helpful. He was speaking at a seminar and he was going through everything he had went through, I was going through.
Really.
My ego held me back a wee bit because I was like, I know he's getting the answers to me just now, the questions that I've got. But I was like, I'm not asking him because like,
You get liable.
but I am now, I'll work this out for myself now. I just went, do you know what?
Yeah.
I contacted him and says, can I come and speak to you? Blah, blah, blah. And he spent over 2 hours with me one Sunday.
Yeah.
And just totally made tweaks all over the place. It just made the engine run much smoother.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I can't believe I've never seen that.
Yeah.
But it's just because he'd been there and done it.
Absolutely.
So then after that, I didn't mind about asking people, like, just doing anything that you can make things, that would improve things, make things smoother, and just looking for, a boy I know says, success leaves clues.
Absolutely.
And I think the same as well, we think something's not working, there's a clue in there.
Absolutely.
Just tracing it back to see how do we make it work.
Yeah.
That was probably the main difficulties.
I think that's a great point, Matt. A lot of people are open, like to be approached. If you really think I'm doing really well, maybe they've been in the industry longer or whatever. Most of these people are like, they're open to be approached for a bit of advice.
Since then, I've helped, I don't know, 10 people open up gyms.
Yeah. You enjoy it, you know, you something, let's be honest. So, but advice to that. And
there's everything you do.
Yeah.
Ask me this, ask me anything, like, why you want to do it like that? Think about this, think about that.
Yeah.
Probably should have answered them, mind you, but and I helped them. I gave them. I saved them all the years of mistakes.
Yeah.
And I gave them, and they said that I'm thinking of doing this. So one last year I helped her, and she had a program where she was going to train people. It was a hybrid between online and in person. I says, "What do you do when they're finished?" She's like, "I'll let them. They'll be able to. They can go on and they can. Yeah, they know how to use the gym and they'll be more confident." I'm like, "We're going to have a level 2." She's like, "I've thought of that." And then they can have a level 3, so she's now, and next thing she's doing really well, she's chucked a full-time job with the NHS, she put a picture on a new TT, and I'm like, yeah, man.
I know exactly. She used to do a mentorship program and that. Yeah, so
it was, listen, it never took me, the thing is, I could give somebody a full playbook and say that you need to go do it, somebody go do it.
Aye.
The execution on it, and the execution, you put the hard yards in, as you said, you know.
Absolutely. So you have a business idea, right? You've got 100 business ideas, it's the execution of it.
Yeah.
Definitely. Just we touched on like obviously social media and stuff I want to touch on like, a market point of view in social media. Change the game a wee bit. Another social media is just so powerful now. How have you embraced that, especially your main coach Scotland now?
Well, with social media, as I said, I never had it until I opened up the gym. And I slaughtered it. I'm not having that at all, taking pictures of yourself and all that. I just wasn't into it at all. I then realised it became a necessity, but I kept myself back for social media. I never put myself out, really. I would just put stuff out for the gym. I mean, I look back at it, all posts for the gym, it was all very clean cut and proper, and it never brought the right people together. As soon as I started to put my stuff out, it then attracted more people to the gym.
Yeah.
Even people who didn't know each other were on the same wavelength, because I was this is the way it is. Even if you read the website, you would either go, oh, that sounds brilliant, or you go, I don't really fancy that. That is not really my cup of tea. So it meant that I suppose you kind of sieved it, or
attracted the right.
Okay, attracted the people on the same wavelength. So that's when I found it cool. That's this is the kind of just being open and I suppose being honest and being yourself is the best thing you can be, because it put people off. It's just that's just as valuable as attracting people.
Yeah.
So I suppose it was my Instagram kind of kicked off. It probably kicked off a wee bit more during the lockdowns, because I was just putting videos out about my thoughts, my reflections, giving people ideas and the ways I deal makes everybody was cracking up with me. And it kind of, I suppose everybody spent a lot of time on their phone, so it kind of went up a bit then. And I would just put a lot of stuff I just put out, well, as it's all positive, or else it's kind of funny. So educational or it's entertaining.
Yeah.
And I check myself sometimes, I'm like, is that an ego post? I'm like, yeah, so it's the 3 E's: ego, entertaining, or education.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So, but a lot of the stuff I was putting out, people just, the thing everybody says is they relate to it.
Aye. Relatable, what's a big thing?
Relatable.
Aye.
Not relatable to everybody, but it is. And I've met, so I've got pals with other question. I get a boy Liverpool I talk to all the time, we talk on the phone.
Yeah.
He's a wee bit, he's my age, we've got my year older, whatever. But we'll talk about stuff I know it's going on in your family and all that sort of thing. But it was only because he's seen my post pop up.
Yeah,
And he's just we've connected, we've spoke. Plugged into Barton, big fish up in Kirkcaldy. I've got people that I've connected to all over the place that I'm pal with, just because they've came to, or even people that I kind of knew, but because they've seen my stuff, they go, well, I'm on his wavelength.
Yeah.
And we go and I went for some tea, went for cold dips, went for training sessions, because we're starting there. Because we're met on the same wavelength sort of thing. So
Yeah.
it's been social media. I probably couldn't have, or it would be more difficult to build a business, because that's everybody's reference point. Yeah, if you recommend somebody, you go see Mark Laurie, what's your page?
Aye, go and check it out.
Go and have a look.
Definitely.
And have a look at it, and then maybe after that, then they'll maybe look at the website or whatever.
Yeah.
But everybody wants to see who it is.
Yeah.
No,
That's
what it is, don't they? So I kind of learned. It's kind of changed a wee touch as well, because obviously with TikTok, I'm not that big with TikTok. I'm trying to put stuff on, but I've not really worked it out.
Yeah.
And I don't really get it. And if I'm looking at TikTok, I'm like, this is weird.
Yeah.
But so Insta's a wee bit, is where I'm a wee bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
But I think even that is changing a wee touch. The videos I used to do of walking my dog, they don't seem to be, when I check the views and things like that, and I'm looking at kind of what's working, what's not.
Yeah.
They don't really seem to do as well for some reason. Okay, I don't know if it's just they went outdated, or
Yeah.
if too many people started doing them.
Yeah.
See, I was doing them a good while ago, so I don't know if too many people started doing them or whatever.
It's a difficult one. It'd be received as a challenge for us. It's
Social media is that's where I get my inquiries from. That's where I start to talk to people, and you maybe spoke to somebody for a while, and then they know that's what you're doing. Or even when I had the gym and it was rehab, you spoke to somebody for a while, you became friendly with them, and they'll say, "Hey, my worst son's hurt himself. He's injured himself football. I've seen you do that rehab, so I'm going to just send them to you. Is that all right?" Aye, brilliant, no bother.
yeah.
So I've always been kind of more with the organic stuff with social media. I've never really done a lot of paid ads.
Yeah.
We did it towards the end at the gym, and that had all changed as well. And because I hadn't done it for a long time, everything had always just been organic.
Yeah.
So then I had to go back and try and learn the paid ads and all that sort of stuff. That was a bit. Some expensive lessons.
Yeah.
We made that.
So it's a learning curve, innit? Be anything from the business point of view, the market, the social media, and there's that much, but you do learn through it, innit, as you go.
You get wet, aren't you? I seen a quote today. I talked to Big Ryan Stevenson.
Yeah.
Used to play with Hearts and all that.
Aye.
Right, so I talked to him, somebody I've not met up in person, but we've spoken on social media.
Yeah.
He's been putting up these wee quotes recently. I says, "Big lad, I'm loving these." And he says, one of the day was, he says, you can't learn to swim by reading about it. Yeah, by reading a book, something. So it was, man, I was like,
Got to do it. That sums up business, I think, in general, that you've got to get in the deep end and sort of learn to swim as you go. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So actually that probably leads us to a quick fire round, right? So what's your favourite business or mindset book, Mark?
One that really changed, it was a big mindset shift for me, was a book called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. It's very, very heavy going. Very heavy going. It took me about 3 years to read it. And it took that long because I broke it down to reading a passage a day. So sometimes it'd be a paragraph, sometimes it would be almost a page, or sometimes it depended what that bit was about. So it was never really much more than a page, and maybe go to the next bit or something, but it was never too much information.
Yeah.
Because it's very heavy going, but it's all about ego, emotion, separating yourself from that, managing the stress, and just looking at life from, not through your own eyes, but through a kind of a third person sort of thing. So it was crazy. But that was a big mindset shift for me, and it also gave me ways of analysing things. So it would make me look at things when, and again, when I'm out with my dog and I'm walking, there was a couple of times I remember going, I was thinking about something, and then I looked at it, that how you look at it from a different angle, a different perspective, and you go, fuck, it's me. Pardon me.
Yeah.
It's me, it's a problem. Because it talks about how your view of someone else is a reflection of you.
Mm.
So you'll see in them a reflection of yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
So doing that would help me assess situations that I look at what relationships are in.
I've heard of that book, so
So it's heavy going. So that's why what I used to do is I would sit in the morning, I'd read a passage, and I would read it, and I'd maybe need to go back, and then I would kind of break it down bit by bit into kind of plain language, and then I would kind of right, I get you mean now,
yeah.
and then funnily enough, something would maybe happen that day, or there would be, wait a minute, there would be a situation going on that
Relate to it would be really
aye.
interesting. Great stuff. One habit that keeps you productive.
Training. Aye, so down the weights, down the boxing, out my runs. That's probably the one that's probably, I've got a few habits. That's probably the one that keeps me productive.
Number one.
Yeah.
Makes sense. If you could have a wee chat with any entrepreneur, who would it be and why?
Bugsy Malone, music artist. So he's a music artist, but he's a businessman as well. He's got a company called the House of Vision. So he's got an aftershave, which I'm wearing. He has he's in movies now as well. He obviously does music. He has a clothing range, which I've got all these stuff as well. And he's obviously a businessman with his music and his tools and all that sort of thing. So that's somebody who I would like to sit down with. Well, one, because I love his music. I love how he delivers it. I love how he tells a story. He says he paints pictures with words, and I think he does. He's obviously he's self-built, self-made. So there was no record label that came on and gave him a £2 million deal or whatever. He had to do it. He'd done everything himself when he was at if you go back and you read his story or listen to his story. The thing is as well, he doesn't put a lot out. There isn't a lot of podcasts from on and anything like that. There's no a lot of interviews, there's no a lot of podcasts. He doesn't do a lot of that. He's put some out, and then I think he must say no to a lot.
Yeah, does it through music?
He puts it through music. And I would just like to sit down with him just to speak to him. Two, because of the business side of things.
Yeah.
Because he said, I smash music, and he's still doing it, but he knows what he's doing with that. And then he said, I want to get the films. And he's went into the films. He's done the clothing range, which was a kind of natural progression. It was all kind of street clothing.
Yeah.
North Face went to sponsor him. They went to meet them, and he's like, you know what, I don't like that. And he said, I'm just going to do my stuff. Yeah. He's done his own BMO and stuff. And then he went, do you know what, I'm going to go into make an aftershave. He's done an aftershave. So in my new wee dub's called Bugsy. Dub after that.
Excellent. Interesting choice. So listen, just to wrap up then, Mark, where can people find out more about you and Mind Coach Scotland?
Mind Coach Mark on Instagram, or mindcoachscotland.com.
Excellent. And one last one, if there's one thing that you want the audience to take away from today's wee chat, what would that be? That really you can do, if you think you can and you think you can't,
you're right, either way. And it's all about talking about energy and doing what you want, talking about that energy and going for it if you want to.
Love it. Magic. Thanks very much, Thank you. Thanks for listening.